Hello and good evening, Team Elevate. It is my pleasure to be here with you guys this evening and share with you a little bit about what I know to be true within my own doTERRA business, and perhaps I can share something with you that will help yours. My name is Shelley Fuge. I'm a diamond leader on this incredibly amazing team. I enrolled in January of 2017 and was blessed to find several people that wanted to do this business with me, and so my organization grew, not because of just what I did, but because of what some incredible leaders did within my organization. I am excited to share some interesting things that I have learned about networking along the way. Networking is one of my absolute passions and favorite things to do, so perhaps something I might say during this call might intrigue you, and maybe it would be something that you can do as well. But I did want to start off by welcoming everyone to this Monday night's call or video. Maybe this is your first time joining. Perhaps you just became an advocate on this team and you are now taking advantage of these Monday night calls so that you too can learn along with everyone else. Or maybe you're a seasoned advocate and you have been running your business for a year just like me. I hope that these calls can be a blessing to you and you can leave feeling that your cup has been filled and that you can go forward stronger and a better leader. So I just want to first hit off this video with talking about an oil. I haven't seen it put in the spotlight recently, and so I thought it would be great just to talk a little bit about tangerine. Of course, I'm using the Essential Life book. If you have one of these big books, if you don't, you can find it on oillife.com. You can find it there for a great price, and they are excellent resources to have in your for your business and even for your wholesale customers. So I'll just read a couple of the top uses for tangerine. We use and love this oil in our home. We put it into, it does indicate on the bottle that you can use 1 drop in a 4-ounce glass of water for a great taste, or you can put it in your diffuser and enjoy it there. It does say that it blends well with bergamot, clary sage, or lavender. So that could be a great powerhouse diffuser recipe for you. Some of the top uses for tangerine are achy, fatigued muscles and limbs, congestion and constipation, poor circulation, arthritis and muscle pain, and even things like when you come down to the emotions, sadness and irritability. And I'm sure that none of you ever struggle with those things. I know that even in this past week with BOGOs, there were times that it was easy for me to get irritable with my children. So citruses are always first on my list to go to. So tangerine is an excellent oil. If you don't have it, I suggest getting it. And it's a great price as well. They make wonderful add-ons if you're just close to hitting your LRP goal. And they also make wonderful gifts for customers that you just want to maybe do something nice for. So pull out your tangerine, take a smell of it, and if you don't have it, I encourage you to get it on your next order. So tonight's call is going to be all about networking, how you can grow your network, and how, if perhaps you don't know a lot about networking, perhaps you can start implementing that more into your business. So I'm just going to talk about, from a personal standpoint, things that I have done to expand my own network. So tonight is going to be a lot about stories. I love stories and hearing practical solutions and what has worked for others, because then I can decide maybe that might be a good fit for me too. So if you like stories, tonight's call is going to be really good for you. So when I started with doTERRA, I had actually been in another network marketing industry, which had nothing to do with health and wellness. In fact, I didn't want to have anything to do with the health and wellness industry. I actually told my enroller, Becky, or maybe I told this to another friend, I don't want to tell people what to put in their body or on their body. And then as I began to learn more about what this whole advocate thing was about, I realized that that was just a piece and a part of what we do. And I quickly realized this was something I was very capable of doing, okay? So because I had already been doing something, I had people that were watching me that may or may not already use essential oil. So that was nice, but I also knew that I didn't really want to tap that market simply because I had been already asking them to purchase other things. So I really just left it up to them if they wanted to follow me. So I was pretty careful about building a group of people that wanted to really learn about essential oils. So when you're just starting out, you probably have what they call a warm market, and a warm market is the family and friends, the people you want to share it with. Now, I specifically wanted to network beyond my family and friends. I've heard it said that if you're selling mainly to people that are your family and friends, this is really a hobby, and that's a-okay. Hobbies are excellent. So if you feel like this is just, a hobby for you, I applaud you. But if this is a business, you definitely want to go beyond that small circle of friends. So I think of it as this way. You have this circle of your closest friends, people that maybe you hang out with, people that you see on a regular basis, and they know you really well. And then you have a second ring of friends, like people that you see at church, or someone you see at a mom's group, perhaps, at the bus stop, you see these people. But then you have an even larger circle of people, and that's maybe the people that you do contact with, that you don't talk to, okay? So they're just somewhat within your realm of influence, okay? We'll be talking a little bit about that influence soon enough. But it's depending on where you're at in your business, you might find yourself still reaching out to maybe some of that warmer market, and you'll find that over 60, 90 days or more, that can change, and you really have the power. You have the power to help your circle grow, because for me, someone who has been doing this now for 13 months, I'm always looking for creative ways to get my circle of influence, my network, if you will, growing. So today we're going to talk about creative ways that you can do this, okay? So it doesn't matter if you are an introvert or an extrovert, or if you call yourself an introvert, extrovert. I see some people doing that. Anyone can do some of these things that I'm telling you to, okay? So know that you have the power to create a larger circle of influence. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, get out your pencils and paper, and I want you to take notes on this. These things are extremely important, and I promise that if you put these things into place, even starting this week, you will see a difference in your business, okay? So the first one I want you to write is get out with an exclamation mark, okay? If you find that 50% of your time, 50 to 80% of your time, you're sitting in front of your computer staring at your numbers, imagining them growing, you're going to continue to do that. You're going to sit there continuing to imagine seeing them growing. So I want you to really think in your mind, am I getting out, okay? So I wrote down on my list of notes here, where are you getting out to? What are some things you do already naturally? So last summer, my family naturally goes to Willowwood Swim Club here in my town. We do pay a membership, which everyone does. There's no public pool here, but there's always someone new for me to meet. So I really go there with the intention of always meeting someone, not because it's self-serving to me and I'm looking to target the next person who I think would make a great customer or advocate, but really just a way to meet friends. So one particular day, this is one of my stories I told you I was going to share. I went to the pool, and there were several moms sitting around the side talking, and there was one gal that didn't have anyone to speak to, and so I went up and sat next to her, and we just got to talking, and as sure as luck would have it, she was talking to me about how she so badly wanted to stay at home, and she wanted to find a way that she could provide, help to provide for her family. And so we began to talk, and it was great to find out that she actually had heard about essential oils and really was curious about learning more. Fast forward this now 6 months down the road, and she is hitting elite this month for the first time, and she's helping me to go diamond. So I can tell you that just by getting out, meeting people, it doesn't always work that way, but that's just a story that I'm sharing with you in my experience, and believe me, it was not an overnight process. She didn't enroll with the diamond kit the next day. She actually started with the home essentials kit, and it took me 60 days to get her there, okay? So you're taking baby steps with people, but that's an example of getting out, going to your to a pool, or going to a mom's group or Bible study, that sort of thing, okay? The second way that you can network is to visit different places that you think might allow you to host a class. So just recently, I went down to an awesome coffee shop, and they just had such a really cool ambiance, and I thought this would be such a great place to have a class. And so I went in, not expecting anything, okay? So like I just ran in there, I decided to grab some lunch, and there was a gal sitting there, and ended up that she was the manager's wife, okay? And she was just taking a break from her day job, which happens to be a nurse. And I happened to have a sample of peppermint. We started talking. She was interested. And so I brought her in a sample from the car. So keep your samples handy. And I kid you not, within 24 hours, she had purchased her Aroma Touch kit. A week later, she, I don't even know if it was a week later, like within 3 days, she upgraded to an advocate. And by that weekend, she brought her best friend and she enrolled her BFF as her first customer. So again, it doesn't always work that way, but this is all about stories today and how I have seen networking successfully work in my business. Okay. Okay. So that's a great story as well. You know, visiting different places to see if they might allow you to host a class. Again, you would want to be strategic in where you go, maybe a coffee shop, maybe a hair salon, that sort of thing. Okay. This is another way that I have networked to grow my circle of influence, and that was by asking a few key people if I could post on their Facebook wall. So I don't just run my business through social media. I think that's a great, valuable tool that you can do, but I do sometimes. I do use unique ways to do that. So this is a fantastic story. I think it was last July, maybe August, one of those months. I was really shooting for gold, and I had told a leader, we've got to get you to Premier. We're going to do whatever it takes to hit Premier, but we were short, really short on one of our executive legs. And I asked my friend, this was I think 3 days before the end of the month, and I asked just a customer, hey, can I post that I'd like to provide some samples on your wall? And she said yes. And this is a really cool story, is that within 24 hours, her friend contacted me and we got to talking and interacting and just kind of, you know, getting to know one another. And she ended up getting that Every Oil kit. You guys, that was a phenomenal story. Okay, so she was able to bring that executive leg, and we were all cheering, and it was pretty incredible. So you just never know when something like that might happen. Now, I have posted on people's walls before, and nothing has come of it, but you just never know. So look for those customers that really value their membership. See if you can post on their wall and network that way. If those people want to get some samples, and then just reach out and be the best advocate you can be for them. So a quote that I came across that I thought I would share with you, I absolutely loved it. It says, networking is not in collecting contacts. How many of us just want to get more contacts, right? Like more contacts, the more people I have to sample, the more chances of them coming to a class and enrolling. It is this. Networking is about planting relationships. Okay, this business is really all about relationships. Okay, what can we offer someone else? Okay, it's not really, that's one thing I love about this business. It's all about giving, paying it forward, helping others to become their best selves, helping people to reach their goals and to strive for always being a better person, a better leader, a customer who uses their oils better. This thing we do is so powerful, but when you're networking, you are really looking to plant relationships, and that's what I do. Most of the people in my organization I did not know before I started doing this. Okay, there's quite a few that I did know, and that's awesome too, right? But you don't know your best people yet. You know, you don't know your huge leaders. You don't, just keep continuing to network and grow that, and those people will come to you. So be the person that you would want to attract, both as a customer as well as a potential advocate. Okay, so another way you can network and to grow your influence, and again, this is on social media, is by joining some Facebook groups. Okay, so one of my favorite things to do is join just some groups where I feel like I can get to know the other people, not in a self-serving way, but genuinely like, hey, what can I offer to the group? So I'm in a group called Hershey Area Moms. I live near Hershey, Pennsylvania. Yes, the chocolate capital of the world, Milton Hershey. And these moms are fantastic. Everyone is always talking about, asking for recommendations, things. And this one girl, I guess she just recently moved here, and she says, hey, I'd like to get to know some other moms, who's interested in getting together? And I was like, well, I have a 6-year-old and she's with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Why not, right? So again, not going in it with the mindset of maybe she'll become a customer, but rather, this is a great way to meet some new friends, okay? Now, this is another one of those stories that I said that I would share with you. And this one, again, not always going to happen, but this particular woman's name is Tiara. And she actually, I just met her. This is that gal who posted that she was looking for friends. She decided to come to my make and take this past Friday night. And she, this is absolutely incredible, actually. She had just written to doTERRA 48 hours before we even had this conversation, that she was interested in being an advocate. And guess who got that lead? I did. I got that lead. So that lead was sent to me. So then I messaged her and said, you're never going to believe this. I just got a lead that said you're interested in being a doTERRA advocate. So really that connection was just a divine thing, in my opinion. And she bought her natural solutions kit on Friday night, and she's now excited to have a doTERRA business. Whatever that will look like for her remains yet to be seen, but I'm sure that she is super excited about doing something. So again, just unique ways of building your realm of influence and networking and getting out there and sharing what it is you do and what you are. Another thing that I want to encourage you guys on is always be continually learning, okay? Be a lifelong learner. The reason why I'm wearing exercise gear today is because I went and took a yoga class for the first time. I've never done yoga, but a friend of mine this morning messaged me at 9 o'clock and said, hey, I'm going to yoga at 10 o'clock. Would you like to join me? And of course I was like, well, that's so much better than sitting here looking at my back office. So I decided to do it. So you really have to ask yourself, like, how adventuresome am I? Do I want to get out there and try new things? I encourage you guys to make a list of 5 things you would like to try, okay? Maybe it's taking an art class. Maybe it's going and having a golf pro take an hour with you and teach you how to swing. You know, be looking for ways just to grow yourself, because when you're growing yourself, growth happens naturally, organically, however you want to put it. It's pretty remarkable. So ask yourself, what is something I can do this month? Okay, so one new thing a month that costs you a little bit money, costs you a little money. Go to your community center, sign up for something. Maybe it's taking a sign language class. Maybe it's to learn another language. Maybe it's to learn CPR. Anything, just get out there and try something new, okay? I know none of you know how to do everything, so I know there's got to be a couple of things that you guys could reach out and even in your local community find someone that could help you learn it. And you just never know when there's going to be that opportunity to say, hey, would you be interested in trying a sample? Or someone might say they have a headache or a health need, and just offer from a place of service in your heart that you have a sample for them. You know, so there are so many different ways for your days to look like, whether you work another job and you have a place you need to be from 9 to 5, or maybe you work the second shift, or maybe you work on the weekend and you have to run your doTERRA business during the day. There is truly something that you can do with any schedule, okay? So my encouragement to you today is to look at your daily to-do list and see how you can implement some of these things. So if you wrote them down, the first one was to get out, away from behind that computer. The second thing is to visit places. The third one is to post on a friend's wall. The fourth one is to join some Facebook groups with the goal being to create some relationships and not looking for, you know, customers. Hold on one second. And then the last one was to always be looking to be a lifelong learner. Before I leave you today, I wanted to share with you one of the books that I really have enjoyed along my doTERRA journey in my education. And I actually got to meet the author at the Dominican trip a couple weeks ago. And it's Dr. Mariza Snyder, and she wrote this book. It's called Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oils. I know that's backwards for you, but it is by a Blue Diamond. And this is a great little resource. And oftentimes I'll give this to maybe a customer that has just been, you know, purchasing every single month, and I send it to them as a gift. But that was a resource I thought I would share with you guys today. So anyways, I hope that you were able to pick up a few tips. You can always message me if you have any questions. It is my absolute honor to be on this team and to run side by side with you guys. I really consider each of you to be people that I partner with, because we're all looking to share the incredible resources of natural solutions, right? So we're all in this together. I consider my door open to you guys. Like, if you ever needed anything, this is something that I plan on doing for the rest of my life. And doing this journey with you is by far more than I ever could have asked for. And I hope that you guys had a chance to learn something new this evening. One quick tip is, if you have a space that you use for your doTERRA business, make it a happy space. Make it a place that you want to come to, somewhere that has perhaps pictures of one you loved, or notes. These are all the notes that I've gotten over the months from, whether it's Bonnie or a customer, or Becky or Jenny and Nathan, or anything they send me. I put those things up. If you get an elite certificate, put that up, or your premier or your silver. Make it a my dog. Make it a happy place. Make it a place when you come in, you're full of joy. Because as I always say, my trademark will always be, there is joy in this journey. Okay? If there's no joy in your journey, something's wrong. Let's go back to the beginning and see where that joy is missing. Okay? So don't let this business be all about don't let this business become so incredibly painstaking for you, like being worried about where your next customer or your next bit of PV will come from. I encourage you to take that back, take that joy back, and implement some of these networking things to really see growth happen, because growth is beautiful, and that's what we're all about. Beautiful, blooming things that are growing and alive. So thank you again so much for letting me be a part of your Monday evening. I hope that you have a great day.